Test. Oh, that's the wrong screen. Boop. There we go. Wow. Oh. Hello, uwu, mo uwu, and Lars, welcome in. We'll just wait a little if people wanna drop in. But hello, how are y'alls? Hey, that's Sean the Shake. You cracked up laughing yesterday. Oh yeah, there was a. We are very cursed. Very, very cursed. But how are y'alls? Gumdrop, yo, Zadi, yas. Yas. Bottle, hey, dude, kitty. Big yes. But how are y'alls? How are y'all's days going so far? We will just give a little bit more time if more people are dropping by, and then we'll start the brand new case. Do you need to know what happened last time? No. Don't know how many people are watching right now. I don't think the notification went out. I'm not sure, but that's fine. I did post on Discord and Twitter, so hopefully people are aware that we are live. Let me drink. But how are y'all's? Oh, thank you. Oh. You didn't notify me? Yeah, I think the notifications didn't go out, but that's alright. I'm trying to close the cap. Oh, you're grinding for Porygon eggs? Heck yeah. Yeah, YouTube is dumb. Why wouldn't this close? Right. You did it. It didn't notify me either. Waiting for the stream to begin with. Yeah, I think the notifications didn't go out, but that's fine. We will start this case. Hey, Petraskin! Oh, oops, that's thunder. How you doing, Petraskin? But yes, if you want to know what happened last time, we just solved the case. That's it. And today we're starting a new case called the Cosmic Turnabout. If y'all are ready, we shall start. It'll probably have a cutscene, but we'll do it. Looks like all the new characters. Very nice. There's a robot. Looks like. I'm excited. You ready for the waterworks? I mean, the title makes it sound very fun, right? Luna, yo, what's up, Luna? Wow, your name suits this case, cause it's called the Cosmic, and Luna's in Cosmic, whatever. But we shall start. Oh, let me. You patch. Patch? Patch what? But how you doing, Luna? Welcome in. How's your day and what are you up to? Thank you for those who like the stream already. Eye patch. Oh. Oh, his eye patch. Okay, let's just start. We're starting. You totally did nothing. You wasn't involved. Oh, suspicious. Okay, let's start. Like, oh yes, from the beginning of the episode, please. They ask you if you want to start from the beginning of the episode when you click on it. It's cutscene. Oh, the courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. I thought they were gonna talk for me. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Apollo's talking. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Cutscene. Yeah, I thought they were gonna talk, but this is no animated cutscene apparently. You just work so you guys are doing good. So this was the first case that we did. Ted Tonate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. Wait, is this the beginning of the episode? If it were that simple. However, I can't help but think that there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After that, I've got more than a few personal stakes in it. Oh snap. Episode 4. The Cosmic Turnabout. I thought there was gonna be a scene where I didn't have to speak. But no. Oh, never mind, here it is.
One hour remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check. Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Oh no.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Apollo's gonna be the focus, yeah. He's the one speaking just now. Sabotage. GG. Oh no, it's a knife. Hey, Sonic fan. It go boom. And the guy got stabbed. It looks like an anime. There's anime cutscenes and it's like style like an anime. Well then. So this is, I think this is the case that Apollo is reviewing. Totally didn't do that. Luna? Oh wow, now I can't see his name. Time for another trial to begin. Share the link. Oh yeah. Thank you. Gotta look while you get eggs, yes. Get them eggs. But this one's different. Luna maybe. Dots. I'm sorry to bother you, but oh, I'm sorry to bother you, but are you alright, Apollo? Is that what she sounded like? Are you alright, Apollo? Girl! Was I making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. I was just doing my course of steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go. That couldn't be you. Judy! It's her! It's Judy! Yes, knowing you, I'm sure it'll be just fine. Wood's perfect name. Oh, the phoenix face. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. Ew! Is this a lotus root? That's right. My grandma says lotus roots are good for your eyes. Don't look if you got the thing. I'll cover it for the people who don't like holes. What? I just covered the picture. Don't talk about the holes. She says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. I'll give you a phobia. It's for good luck. Maybe. Lotus read it loud. That's why I'm covering it for people. She must be the killer now. You can cook it and... Thanks for this! I'm gonna have some right now. Is he just chomping on it? Oh my! Thoughts. Kinda tough though. Bossy! Dr. Swablu, how you doing? Oh, it's gone. Okay. I was covering a lotus root because it has holes. But how you doing, Dr. Swablu? You can't eat it raw, but thank you for the enthusiastic try. Oops, if she didn't think of me weird before, she will now. I've gotta calm down. You're vibing. Apollo! I'm sorry I'm late. Hi, Tina. Big nutty. Judy! I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it, you sly little thing, you. Tina, stop! Quit kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set? Is the Bible emo, yours? She tried to kill. No! Oh, Apollo. When will you ever figure it out? Figure out what? Thoughts? Oh. It's a sigh, apparently. Wow, that was the longest sigh I ever heard. Ooh, what should he sound like? What do you guys think this dude should sound like? The spaceman? You imagine Athena break through the wall. Dude, Jody! What should this dude sound like? DJ Khaled! No! What does DJ Khaled even sound like? He's sighing all the time. Hello, y'all. What should he sound like? This guy should sound like... That's what it should sound like. I don't know what DJ Khaled sounds like. Blah, blah, blah. Country girl, that's a spaceman. Well, look it up. Wow, I think you should careful with the tones. Ooh, this isn't the first time where the way you typed your text sounds kind of rude. Plus, I'm trying to do this case and stream. I'm not gonna YouTube DJ Khaled. Sorry, the minute. Yeah, you have to remember that like text doesn't have like a tone, so like some sentencing can be kind of rude. It must have been looking super. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Kata? Wait, you're on country girl? You want him to sound like a country girl? Gloomy. I mean, he does look pretty gloomy. I'll give him a country. Gloomy. I don't even know how that. Totally didn't stab anyone. Can't be me, nah. Luna. You should sound like Pikachu. No. That's too much. Do you mean like just the high pitch? Yeah, this is it. It's all over for me. Is that too much? This is it. It's all over for me. Like Goofy. What do y'all think? The Mr. Mom face. Perfect. He make it sound like meow. Meow, that's right. It's all over for me. Why does he sound Boston somehow? Yes, wait, what are you guys yesing to? The Pikachu voice or the Goofy voice? I don't know what you guys are approving of. The perfect and the yes. Which voice was it that you guys are saying yes to? That will be the voice for the Pikachu. Okay, cool. We'll do Pikachu. It's all over for me. You like both? Pikachu? Okay, we'll do the Pikachu voice. I like how we give Athena Batman, and then we give this clearly a very manly man from space the Pikachu voice. Need to head out for now. Say goodbye, Dr. SWW. By far your most favorite emo, y'all, Mr. Mom. They're gonna fight me guilty. This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Soul Starbuck. Yes, the look. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually an upbeat and driven person. The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Starbucks. He owns Starbucks. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. But that's where we met Mr. Starbucks. We asked about space travel and got some pumpkin spice lattes, and he launched into a story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbucks. He owns all the Starbucks. You and Luna thought the same joke. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks! But... I was supposed to be in the right in space right about now. Oh my god. He gets the coffee from space we never noticed. He's so depressed it's almost like an act. The launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get a chance to go to space again. Don't say that! Don't stop believing! Besides, you just have to go into space again! Yeah. But I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in the cell. He big depressed. Clay Tarrant! I can't believe he was murdered! I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command! Nice singing. Is he wearing a hat or is that his hair? The red part, that's his hair. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I went down. It's because no one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." He didn't do it to Clay. You're not gonna believe this. How could something like this happen to a guy like you, eh? I've never seen Mr. Starbucks so down. Clay's gone, and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. You sure about that, Luna? Mr. Starbucks! Starbucks! You'll be fine! What did you yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today, you'll see. And in exchange, I want you to go back to space for you and Clay, promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Let me check the court record. I have nothing but the autopsy report. Oh, well, about that. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I would like thanks to the police. And then I'm a gunner. Everybody thinks I did it. Though I thought it was gonna sound like a comet, but I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite. No, don't say that, Starbucks. Mr. Starbucks, he's being accused of murder. Yes, he's our client, and he's being accused of murdering Clay Terran. Phoenix Black. Oh yeah, you're gonna do that. Oh, he's our client. We're saving. We're trying to save him, not accuse him. You just noticed the Starbucks head is a rocket. Oh, his head. Oh, he is the rocket. Don't count yourself out just yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you've got to keep going. Nuts. And what about you, Apollo? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? Dots. We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you all ready to go? Apollo! The trial's about to begin if the defense would please proceed to the courtroom. Hey Akira, how you doing? Okay. Here we go. This is it. This is the one trial I can't afford to lose. For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer. You're not ready. I have no evidence. We only have one autopsy report. So we're going straight into the trial. No investigation here. Alright. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbucks. Oh, he has a... okay. He's innocent, that's your case. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Excuse me, Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor. What happened to your eye? Dots. I'm fine! The defense is ready, Your Honor. Are you sure? I don't... I'm fine, Your Honor! The defense is ready! Why? Okay, God damn, just shut. Okay, calm down. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty. I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Really good reason. Yeah, he's innocent. He's driven. Maybe he's entering a touchy age. He's 20, like he's like 24. Isn't he 23 or 34? Dots. Very well, and the prosecution? Oh my god. Dots. The prosecution appears to be ready as well. Dots. Dots. Not yet. I am not quite ready yet. Lotus fruit, maybe. Mama is Blackwell, my man. God, the case day. We haven't even started, bro. Oh, what the hell, man? What is this? What's happening? The prosecution is now ready. Well, it didn't take him long this time. Dots, what's up with Blackwell? Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
Blackwell did it to Apollo. He punched him in the face. He poked his eye. Thoughts. I'll do it. What? You will? What an unexpected surprise. Judge silence. Really? Welcome in, really? Insert Vine. I don't know that Vine. I don't know. I don't watch Vines. I never knew Vine existed until it was almost over. This time I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something's off with the two of you today, I swear to God. Are you two hooking up or something? I mean, you both seem different somehow. One has an eye patch and one doesn't have his handcuffs on. It's very, very strange. Really? Yeah, didn't murder clip. I was asleep. We all have our favorite Ace Attorney characters. Yours is Blackwell, aka Mr. Burp. Dots. Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your opening statement, if you will. It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at Cosmos Space Center. Oh, the famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right? Probably the giggity was awkward. Astronomy. What did he say? Astrology? Astrology, right? Astronomy. Astronomy. It's astronomy, you stupid judge. When doesn't Blackwell break the handcuffs? Not at the beginning. We just started. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there, but at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosive devices were detonated and the launch was cancelled. My word! 2 bombs! 2 bombs! How dreadful! The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One, so Mr. Solomon Starbucks. DC with the rocket! How are you doing, DC? For whatever inane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in. He must kill them one for research. Solomon Starbucks? I recognize that name. Isn't he that famous astronaut? Correct, your boldness. Mr. Starbucks was the pilot of the Het 1 rocket 7 years ago. That doesn't mean that he's though. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend. He's a legendary person. You're doing fine, getting that B first, yes? And I remember now, he's become more of an international celebrity, right? The bottom of Starbucks head looks like a rocket wings. Does it? I didn't even notice. They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. Yeah, I love Interstellar. You're watching while eating. Hey, yes. Movie night. Movie morning. You noticed that earlier? I know that I recognize the rocket on the head. I didn't know this, like the wings of the spaceship, the rocket. Why not the 8-pound fast? We got real space point in court tonight. But even heroes stumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand. Oh yes, the victim was one Mr. Clyde Taran, the subordinate of the defendant. Rocket looks like a needle he has in hand. Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant, so he was sent not to space, but to the universe, which we mortals cannot see. Clay. I think I've heard enough. The case key seems pretty clear cut at this point. However, there is one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. It's never too early or too late for some curse. What purpose does it serve exactly? Remember this box, guys? Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin. Oh, have mercy on me! Dots. JK is evidence. Due to its immense size, we have little choice but to just leave it there. Lay it where it rests, Is the bomb, maybe? The bomb? We shall get to the contents of the box in due time. It's my box, leave me alone, Luna! I feel like I just lost 50 years of my life. Does he even have 50 years left? Athena! The man can live as long as he wants. That's a bomb. Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. God. Enough jabbering. Bobby Fulbright is the name. In justice we trust. I guess. Oh my Athena. Oh, Detective Fulbright. Very well. Then please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you will. On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Wow! 6 floors. Launch pad on the left, museum on the right, by not NASA. Detective Lowbright, Cosmos Space Center. Here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building. Oh wow, oh god. Do you have to remember all this? Take a look at this cross section that we, the police, have created with our digital design team. That's a smaller NASA. Just one branch. See the launch pad and the main building? Wait, this is the launch. This is the launch pad. Okay, cool. The launch pad is the square building, and the rounded structure is the main building. Right? You got. Oh, that was the. Oh, you know, right? You got it. The incidents took place in the launch pad 1 and in the main building's lounge. Just got the notification that we're live! Oh my god, YouTube, what the hell? You gotta go get breakfast, alright? I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand. Let me look at. We have the autopsy report first, so let's just take a. Oh wow. Let's take a look at that real quick. So, cause of death stabbing. The victim was discovered in the 3rd floor boarding lounge in the main building, and there's like the crime scene photo. Oh, rip, my friend. So, he's been stabbed. He's still wearing his hat under the helmet for whatever reason. One of his gloves is missing. He has a glove here and not a glove on his other hand. There is a thing here, and there is a thing here, so I don't know what it is. And there's a giant round thing and a knife in his body. You two just got a reminder for the tree after 35 minutes. Dang, dude, YouTube is dumb. Oh, alright. YouTube be slacking, they really do. Oh, thank you for the thing, for the picture. Bobby. Details of the case. Just before the rocket was sent to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom, boom, boom. Better late than never, I guess. Yeah, the knife was a gift for Luna. No. One on the second floor of this. Wait. One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in Launch Pad 1. Thankfully, only the two astronauts were in the Launch Pad 1 at a time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge, but after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. That was weird. It sent me a notification. Yeah, the went live interesting. Yeah, it just sent the notification to everybody. After he ended, I get notifications from people's streams like 4 days afterwards. Murder on top of a bombing. Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, right? Correct? Wait, let me just adjust something from the camera. I forgot to adjust my white balance. There we go. Now it's not all blue. Yup, thinking he sabotaged the bombing, the defendant attacked and killed the victim. Just look at this tragic photo. Oh, Ripu. Oh, that knife in the victim's chest. Yes, Your Honor, is the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams and his heart. We couldn't get any prints off of it though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit. Oh, a utility knife. The victim's blood found on the blade, but there's no fingerprints could be lifted. Big oof. Point away, Detective Fulbright. Why the victim's helmet and glove absent in this photograph? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. Oh. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. Why would someone sabotage their own work? That's how my question. I think they're saying that Clay sabotaged the bombing that Starbucks did. Like they're saying that Starbucks wanted the bombing to happen, but then Clay sabotaged it, so Starbucks killed Clay. I think that's their assumption. Yeah, so it will be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprint. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What the hell is that? I mean, what is that round thing next to the victim in the photo? Something so important to the victim that he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. Apparently, which, while obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case. I see. So we know what the bomb. We know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. The victim is Paul's BFF. Yeah, that dude on the floor with the knife. Yup, that's Apollo's best friend. A worker must have done something. But where was the bomb in the launch pad 1 located? Huh, that one was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad air elevator was a sea of flames. That's why Apollo's driven for this trial, yup. And the client is like their mentor, I guess. His best friend's mentor. And Apollo said that him and his best friend would always go there during school, high school. They would go there way too often, and they met the client there. I knew I needed tissues for some reason, gah! If Starbuck he killed Clay, it would be because the drink wasn't on the menu! Clay ordered from the secret menu. I'd like to submit this diagram and report into the record. Oh wow. The explosion sparked a fire on the second floor of the main building in the middle of the launch pad near the elevator. Okay. Oh my. The trial just started and we're already in a bind. You get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing. That will be the key. Okay. I don't know why Apollo has an iPad, by the way. Because this is before the courtroom bombing. Since Apollo isn't like half dead. Okay, let's press him. Boom, boom, boom. Hold it! How powerful were these explosions? Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down, but the room when it went off was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in a large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation. I am the best. Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? Ha! I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there whenever and wherever people need my help. You know that Shakira song? That's my favorite one. Maybe it's because he wants to be taken seriously, so he gave himself an iPad. I'd go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe. He's the murderer, you're calling it. The detective is the detective! I'm not sure how far that actually is, but I guess I'll leave that one alone. Admirable decision, Justice Donna. Huh? What did he decide? Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at the time? The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators and the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup. How did the evacuation go? I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. You just noticed Black got a huge ponytail. Yeah, he got a fluffy ponytail at the back. The basement shelter. You think he have an iPad because he doesn't want to see the false facts? Maybe his perceiving eye is like dead or like hurts. Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath this Space Center. Okay. An emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is! It's at the bottom of the diagram! Oh, okay. The Space Center's pretty impressive to have its own shelter! Okay. Oh, wait, let me read what this says. He wants to see 1 point. Okay, let's see what the evacuation report says. The bombs went off despite tight security. Police and riot police had been standing by and gave evacuation okay, this is the evacuation report. You'd have stopped laughing at Athena's voice. Police officers and riot police gave evacuation instructions immediately. There was a power outage and the affected areas remained dark, so it was pitch black. The security system switched over to emergency power and continued to work. Evacuees were moved to the basement. So the police gave instructions right away. There was a outage. The security went to emergency power and the people there were moved to the basement. Okay, cool. The power outage and evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. I guess I'll leave that aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, right? Yup, that's right. And Bobby right. On the 2nd floor. One on the 2nd floor, one on the floor. Hell, dude. Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives. Huh? What are you talking about? If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well. I haven't told that. Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fool Wright. The motive. You should just tell us the motive in the first place. Even Apollo is confused. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia. What? As the what? Astrophobia? What's that? A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up. And so in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute by bombing 2 separate locations. That makes perfect sense. Fulbright. That's absurd. Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. What is that? Panadol? These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions. Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears. How many more Ace Attorney games do you have to complete the whole series? So this game has this case and then the last case left. And then we only have 1 more Ace Attorney game left. It's gonna end! So after this case and the next case, which is the final case of this game, which is crazy, we only have 1 more Ace Attorney game left. Isn't that crazy, guys? Take a look at these pills. Starbucks went to space, so astrophobia doesn't really work. Apparently he was taking pills for it, like anti-anxiety pills. There were a multitude of problems with the rocket that Mr. Starbuck wrote 7 years ago. When did you first play the game on your stream? Back in July, right? Yeah, like 1 month into streaming, I started Ace Attorney. We've been playing Ace Attorney for a year. That's crazy. Now it's July. That's crazy. We've been doing Ace Attorney streams for a year. Hey Steven, how are you doing, Steven? Hope you're having a great day, vacation. You're doing excellent. You only stay for a while. You're trying to see the rest of the stream. Hey, no worries. Go focus on your vacation. Have fun. Oh yeah. Rumor has it. Wow, all the songs. Oh my, that's cool. That is nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think about that. We started a month into streaming. Rumor has it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was of course very traumatic for Mr. Starbucks. But that doesn't mean he'd go as far as to blow up his own ship. The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name, could he? No, not after the media branded him as Soul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Kyle and Hornsby are my boys. Yeah, I saw the clip of them hanging out at Kyle's house. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What? So that's why you think he resorted to a bomb? Big Brian. Lake Ryan. Naturally, he constructed his act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the space center, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. That's... Gah! Now I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down this atrocious criminal. You're back in your head, Kish, oh Kish! Also has big brain. Edgeworth had the big brain. Wait. 2 astronauts were found in launch. Hold it! Are you sure it was only the 2 of them? It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course it was only those 2. Alright. Well, there could have been someone else inside that rocket.
Silence.
The notion of a third party in the launch pad is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by fingerprint recognition device. Allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so. A fingerprint recognition device? Sounds as futuristic as complex as the Space Center. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo. You can just sleep again. Silence is your favorite. Like, yeah, silence is unique to Black Quill, like how Clavier has Acton. And like Shilong Langhead. Not so fast. Black Quill has silence. Shut your mouth. Wow! This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I say, okay, that's very different from what I had in mind. And is there a record of the number of people who passed through that door there yesterday? Yes, there was only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. Then doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one that did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28, during his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. He has a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Yuri! Oh, we got that. A biometric door lock operated by fingerprint recognition. Only the defendant, the victim, and the Space Center director had access. Okay, cool. Silence fits Black Quill now, since he's more chill than the others. Yeah. 2 of them managed to make it back. So while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. Yuri cloned himself. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct? You got it. In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. If the victim had been alive, he would have sure tried to stop the bombing. So he's saying that Starbucks stabbed the guy before the bombing even happened? Like in the rocket? Is there by any chance Mr. Terran would have been killed before he boarded the rocket? They were both alive and well at the boarding time and embarked under their own power, their hearts full of hope and dreams of space. Then both of their hopes and dreams were dashed. If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue. It's unfair, you got the shit. Oh, you got the Dradigon? Nice! How many encounters did that take? You forgot you were wearing a spacesuit Animal Crossing around soccer. After the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. Oh, how did... Oh my god, that worked. And who was the first to find the victim? 49 Softly says? That's crazy! I'm at 4650. Actually, there were 2 of them. The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candice Arm. One of them was a detective? Yup, Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see. Oh, what's that? You have insane luck apparently. Man, spread the luck so that we can get it tomorrow. She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosions. They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding lounge. You made a Kirby shirt? Ooh, that's awesome. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant. Two witnesses hired, one of them is a detective. You are so lucky, thank you. I doubt either one of them would have anything to say that would help me. Claire actually died from stepping on a Lego. I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Okay, we got a bunch of evidence. Is it the bombing victim? Yup. So this is... Apollo was narrating at the beginning and he's reviewing the case of the courtroom bombing. So the first case that we did with Candice Arm and Juniper Woods and Apollo being like half dead on the floor, that is that separate case, a trial of who bombed the courtroom. This is the case where the courtroom got bombed. That's what Apollo said at the beginning. He's like, I'm reviewing the case. Who is the bombing boomer? We know who bombed the courtroom, but now we're looking at who bombed the space center. Got it in the Ultra Ball. So Apollo is reviewing the case that the courtroom got bombed. So that's not looking good for us. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the foam was killed. If this is true, then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime. What little I could get out of him only hurt my case. Hyperventilating. Hup. Justice don't know. Foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. This is Apollo's case and the last one was Athena. Yeah, this is Apollo's case and last week we played as Athena. This week we're playing as Apollo. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? DVD? Footage from a security camera. Hey DJ Riolo, how you doing? Welcome in. As the two astronauts emerged from the bowels of the launch pad corridor. Make sure to like the stream, guys, if you haven't. Wow. So that's number 50 on the tank. He's holding. This one is holding the thing. The door is open. The knob is actually turned the other way. You can't really see it. You can't really see it right now actually. Let me just slightly adjust the camera so that you guys can see the knob on the thing. Over here, this knob is horizontal, but in our other evidence that shows the door, it was vertical on the door, so horizontal must mean that the door is open. I just noticed that. I don't know why. Zucker's precious. He's cute. Zucker. I'm a Zucker for you. I think that just means that the door is open. There's a you know those airport things? The flat escalator. The flat thingy. It looks like a tool here on the floor. The boarding lounge security camera captured the desperate escape. Now I will direct attention to what the defendant is shouldering. He just said he wanted to summon food and he's reading cookbooks. Oh, he cute. Which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. What? What? Oh, everybody shut your mouth! This This lines up exactly with what the prosecution has been saying. Zucker's a precious baby. He is. I should have known Black Quill would have come up with something like this. With something like this ready, I mean. The other day, it rained and there was a rainbow in the sky and Zucker was looking at the rainbow. Suspicious. Okay, we got the picture. Video showing the defendant and the victims escape to the corridor from the boarding lounge. Not as precious as Phoebe. Phoebe is no. Apollo, how exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in that footage? Thoughts. Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive or not is pretty crucial. Your Honor! Please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Turan was still alive here and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him? Why, I believe you're right. One man carrying the other souls to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship. Diva is the most precious with her face. Hemp. Perhaps that's what it looks like from a one-eyed hot head and a donut. Wow, hey! What did you say to Athena? It only makes sense if the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fool, Wright. Explain to Justice Turner. With the lips. You got it. Ready, kid? Aye, aye, Captain. If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone entering the lounge, after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's a horse of different color. What? But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out. Excuse me, Mr. Black Widow's rude to Fulbright. He's getting roasted since day one. Your assertion is based on emotion. It's based on your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation to why the victim could still be alive. Gah! Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution's right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic. But it sounded so perfectly logical to me. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Objections? Well, Your Honor! The defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need. What is it, Athena? It's just... there's something that's been bothering me. Hemp, if it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. That's very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time. Yeah! You need to shut your mouth. You have 5 seconds. 5 seconds! After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and the verdict to be rendered. Your bonus, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown. Ready? We don't have time! Spit it out, Athena! Only 3 more seconds! Look, I don't think that the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning? Meaning there's something, there's definitely more than 5 seconds already. Something's missing. Like they conveniently left it unexplained. Something they didn't explain? What is something they didn't explain? You're right. I think I know what you're talking about. I have no idea. You're liking Black Quill now? He's feeling generous. Your 5 seconds and more have been up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument you'd like to rebut? Yes, Your Honor. You would have given him 1 second? In 1 second he'll be like, Athena. Actually, there's something the prosecution has yet to make clear in this court. Black Will's the true judge. Well, if you put it that way. What is the... Oh no! What is the prosecution failed to explain? The options are motive for murder, which they did like explain because of the sabotaging thing, and the body. Why would the body was moved? It felt more like 5 seconds to me. I'm the one talking, and definitely felt like more than 5 seconds. You do the second things also after you make you chuckle. Blackwood is a true mallet. I'm just gonna pick why the body was moved was not explained, because they clearly definitely explained the motive behind the murder. Aggressive table abuse. They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why did he just leave the body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? That's true. I don't think we've had the prosecution's thoughts on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? Dots. Crap. I mean, what? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of the argument is wrong? Then let's hear your theory, Mr. Johnston's. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him. Gah! Big silence. You moved Audie, now nice. Fool, right? Explain it to our sad friend. Oh, we're friends? Here before I nod off to his monotone monologue. I mean, you fell asleep in court before, so inform him exactly why Space Boy moved the victim. Huh? They gotta be joking. It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did that to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression that he heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera so there'd be a record. At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man. Gah! One man carrying the other to safety would bleed to feel an expansion of friendship. Plot twist is as Fulbright. The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs over 200 pounds. Saving a life of a partner that weighs that much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story to fit in the silver screen. Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story. You see, yet the true ending is all traces of his hemi act were meant to be blown up. And yes, we have arrived to the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion! Plot twist! What are you talking about? There was no third explosion! Indeed. You're correct. Your penguin villager is here today on ice. It's a game, we don't question it. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it does not change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The steel coffin witnessed beside the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case. Ted, we used that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of the most distasteful toy. The sound hole. A coffin put me in there. No, Luna. How you doing, Henry? Are you Shiny Rowlet? Did you change your name? Go. One on the second floor of the main building. One in the launch pad. One in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off all three display to firework displays. It's the first case bomb. Yep, this is before the first case ever happened. Detective Arm is still alive. Oh yeah, it's a sound hole. How are you doing? Unfortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not, the victim's body and the vital evidence would be immolated. Gah! Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. Gah! It's like he's reading my mind. As it still undergoes forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence in hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found on one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Oh no! Specifically, a bomb detonation switch. You found a what? Are you kidding me? What kind of bomb switch look like that? I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the space director and Detective Arm stumbled across the murder, he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble brain that he is. Black Who using big brain. Gah! No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that. She's the only person who says objection should talk. Ah! If that is connected to that case as well, I'll go insane. Justice Dono, open your eyes, well, one eyeball, and see the truth. No, Chevrolet has the moving bubble. No, don't ignore her or keep her there. He's dead. Starbucks could throw it in the flame, so so it appeared to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions. No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it. You believe your client, come what may. Dots. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? Is he helping me? This has got to be a trap. There they are. Black Quill, what are you doing? It's like Black was controlling the entire game. Yeah, it's like he's playing the game. This is the third time she has it in a week. Oh no. Maybe it's not even the moving bubble. It might not be the moving bubble. It should transfer to another person if you ignore her. If you ignore her, the next day or the day after, it should transfer to someone else. Or transfer to herself if it's your unlucky. But it might not even be the moving bubble. You walk it in the air. You can't walk in the air. Yeah, it seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out, and really to rub it in, he had decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck to break me down! Is it possible for all of it to move away? No, I don't think so. He's saved and Ubon is still there. Oh yeah, then just ignore her. It should transfer to someone else. Then, making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself, famed astronaut Solomon Starbucks. Witness your name and occupation, please. Oh god, the Pikachu voice. It's because Solomon Starbuck. Oh, it's not. How did this happen? Rocket Man. He will scream if he moves to Kiki or Tabik next. It should, probably. Mr. Starbuck, you aren't doing very too well. Will you be able to give testimony?
Because no.
Well, unfortunately, no is not an option. Why did you ask the question? You're being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Terran. Please testify to these allegations.
Many this suit off. It's getting really heavy.
It's not the weight of the suit you feel, but of your sins. Prepare to carry the weight for the rest of your life. Jesus, Blackwell! Stop.
Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore.
Wow! That's super negative. Is he gonna be alright up there? He'll be fine. I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. He's munching on his bird's feather.
All I did was support Clay over my shoulder to get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor.
Oh wow, where's it going?
Clay had passed out by the time we got to order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him.
So you assert that you didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim?
I bet you think I'm lying, right?
I reserve all judgment until I've heard your full testimony.
Gee, you don't believe me. I bet you didn't even believe I'm an astronaut.
I don't think the judge doubts that. Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut? Where do you put the tablet in his suit? I will say, when I saw you in that movie, you appeared quite courageous, though I suppose your reality never quite lives up to fantasy. Jesus Christ.
You kids have a big disappointment.
Dude, you need to chill.
I don't really care what happened.
Bro, you need to chill, Lex. Oh no, he's completely given up! Jesus. What a depressing fellow. You think, man? Someone needs to say, oh, it's a Starbucks. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sighing would rub off on the other inmates. Like how he rubbed off on Prosecutor Black Girl a second ago. That question mark sigh wasn't him. It was Black Quill. So it was like a no wonder they're giving question marks. You rub it off on the other inmates and rub it. Oh, says you, Blackquill. Huh? That was Blackquill sighing. Blackquill, stop sleeping and sighing. Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun shy now. It's time to find out the truth. Yes, no. I don't remember what this guy said.
All I did was simply get out the rocket.
Hold it. The first episode of Pokemon Journeys, honey. So what you're saying is that the victim was still alive at the time?
Of course, he was alive and well.
If so, then you admit you took a man who was alive and well and silenced him. Silenced him permanently with this.
What? No! Black Hole confirmed. Dead ahead. It's no good, Captain. I'm getting sucked in.
Mr. Starbuck, you're not in space! Please give your testimony seriously.
It was just nerve. Maybe I shouldn't have said he was alive and well. It's more like he was slumped over.
Those are completely opposite ends of the spectrum.
I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Hold it.
Hold it. Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area? Except a knife in Clay's body.
That's right. We always use it to get to the cockpit.
Oh wow. That makes sense. He was just using the route he always used. In spite of the fact there had just been an explosion? Huh? I think Mr. Starbuck is hiding something. Something pretty big. Hold it. Passed out? Why was he passed out?
Probably because of the explosion. The noise and vibrations were incredible. It's little wonder the person could pass out, right?
I guess. Not that I know.
I made my space debris. The main engine's on fire. It's gonna blow.
Yes, I see. I guess it does make sense that someone would pass out. Especially if the person is in question is Mr. Starbuck. Anyway.
I was trying to save him.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! There we go. Don't worry, I understand. I'll make sure everything turns out alright.
But everyone's glaring at me like I did it.
Apollo, you have to reassure him then better than that. How am I supposed to do that? Try to imagine how he's feeling. Use that to figure out how to boost his confidence. Mr. Starbuck, think back to what Clay used to always say. It's times like these when he would repeat, "I'm fine" to himself.
I'm fine? Yeah, I guess he did say that a lot. But even if I shouted, Clay would still be dead. What's the use?
Dots. Somebody please reassure me now. Apollo, there's something strange about Mr. Starbuck's testimony. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's a glaring contradiction. I just wonder why it's there and what it means for our case. Doesn't look like he's lying, at least. Guess I'll have to show some evidence, okay? I'm guessing it was there. Is this phrase? Wait, like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Okay, let's see our evidence. Wait, took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Hey, Pokemon Master, you see Clay, you click. As always, I took the elevator down and headed to the corridor. Why is that contradictory? Cause there's a ladder there? Would the Wait. All I did was... Is it cause like there was a power outage? There's a power outage, so the elevators wouldn't work, right? Hold on, let me see that report again. How you doing, Pokemon Master? How's it been? It's been a while. Okay, wait. The power outage, the affected areas remain dark And there's only the security system switch to the emergency. I'm gonna try presenting the evacuation report, cause there was a power outage. Yeah, 7:25 is one day. Wait, oh nice. Objection? No, dang. Maybe it's the map. Wait, let me press that statement again and see what they say. I give a look. Ooh. This emergency power security system. Let me press it again and see what they say. Hold it! Hold it! Oof. Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area?
That's why we always use it to get it to where you need to go with.
That makes sense. He was just using the route he always used, in spite of the fact there had just been an explosion. There's a ladder. Maybe we should present that because of the ladder, like the map. Hold on. The bombing report. We have a bombing report. The explosion sparked a fire on the second floor of the main building in the middle of the launch pad near the elevator. Oh, like near the elevator because of there's a bombing report. The bombing report. Explosion sparked the fire on the second floor of the main building and near the elevator. So why would he be at the elevator when there's literally a fire? Objection! Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible.
Was I not being accurate?
No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down the middle floor. Oh my side, that Mr. Justice. Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle elevator was engulfed in flames. Ah, you're right! Which means... Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words, Mr. Starbuck, your statement decidedly is consistent with the facts. It's Mysterio! What's this, the helmet?
Mission Command, do you mean? Come in, please.
This mission command. I order you to pay attention! Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck.
In my helmet! My oxygen tank!
Jesus Christ.
Oxygen concentration, body temperatures declining. Requesting a medical assistance.
Luna, tell the truth.
Go!
Is that a breakdown? Or is he just... Wait. Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Where do you go? Stop pretending you've lost consciousness and stand back up.
I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth.
That breakdown, bro. Why is that a breakdown now? We've only been streaming for like an hour and a half. I feel like we just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut. He seemed more like an astronaut now than he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you use the middle level elevator?
I was nervous and said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I took a different route, I think.
A different route? Dots. I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time.
I get it right this time. Maybe, probably, I don't know.
Probably. It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount.
Let's see, my escape route. What was it I said before it was a mistake? I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way from the upper level.
What? So you're saying you escaped that without using the elevator?
That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper middle of levels. I used the ladder to get down to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder. The reach could.
Okay. Starbucks sounds like Box Lady. Oh, that's it on. That's true. I'm trying to make it sound like the Pikachu.
It's because I'm making the.
Ah! And the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Terran there? Was that the capsule important? You risked your life to take it with you?
It is, but we couldn't go do it all day. Yeah. The capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With it based on clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also important.
I need you to answer with the best of your abilities. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is riding on their testimony.
Maybe I get it after all. I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. I bet it's more comfortable than a spaceship.
Jesus Christ. This dude needs to chill. My escape route, what was it I said before with the held it? How could you make such a mistake of basic fact?
Everybody makes mistakes. But trying to find the masters of space instead. From every takes 4 light years to travel our nearest neighboring star. So you see, comparing the vast expanse of space, human error is insignificant.
I wish you consider it just a little bit more than significant as 0. Enough jabbering, get on with your testimony. What is this? Hold it! Hold it! Maybe, probably. Did I hear you right, Mr. Starbuck?
I don't think. Mr. Control, please come in. There's an error in the sound system. Activate the emergency tin can telephone. Oh, no! Tin can telephones are ineffective in the vacuum of space.
Stop this nonsense or I will sever you and your tin can telephone.
Alright, I'm begging you. I'll tell the truth. Just don't sever anything.
Apollo! Is it gonna be alright? I'm starting to think he's not.
So what are we?
The upper level of the launch pad area?
That's right. This was it, isn't it?
Granted, the route does exist. To recap, you had clay over your right shoulder and capsule in your left hand.
Yeah, it's really important. I couldn't let it get burned up. So even if Clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to lose him beforehand. Carry him beforehand and did the best I could. With him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand.
Dots. I don't think the meaning of what he said just hit him yet. Hemp, you know what you had to do with that statement, Justice Turner. Yes, I know. Well, I've come this far. No bad time to present some evidence. So Mr. Starbuck escaped with Clay and a capsule, which means it's just like in the footage. I can see why he couldn't run though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and his support Clay was another 200 pounds. Plus yet to ensure the safety of the capsule. Why does the guy remind you of Larry Butts? Don't think I could even walk under those circumstances. Walking straight forward is probably about all I've been able to manage. Sure, okay, let me save. Should I present the map again? Let me look. You made. Should I present the map? How can you go down a ladder with two things when both your hands are being used? Oh, I should say objection. Objection! Mr. Starman, why don't you tell the truth?
The truth? Let's see. The Earth is blue? No, that's not right. I guess the Earth isn't blue? Yeah, that's it.
Terrible abuse! The truth, Mr. Starbuck!
The oxygen concentration in this area.
You're back from getting on the opening for Pokemon Journey. Nice!
Prepare the emergency oxygen tanks!
He does sound like Box Girl. Mr. Justice appears confused. Please help draw him out the truth from him. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time. Let me breathe a little. 457, how you doing? I didn't realize you were the one who said that. The Larry Butts guy. Let me take some air. Let me get some air and drink. We're not in space, dude. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly reach the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Not as long as this was along the escape route. Wait, what? You didn't notice me? Yeah, I saw the message, but I didn't realize it was you the one saying it. Wait, what did he say? You couldn't reach the boarding lounge via the upper level? Oh, because of the staircase? I mean, because of the ladder? To get down from the upper level to the middle level, where Launchpad 1 was corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck?
Okay, that was the only way we could escape.
But how would that work? At the time you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear, putting him over 200 pounds.
Oh! Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is 1/6 of 20 days on Earth.
You're still in the class when the class case started, so I need a recap. Basically, this case is happening before the first case. You know how the first case was a bombing case? This is before that in the timeline. Our best friend Clay Terran is dead, and this Solomon guy is our client, and he is being blamed for the death and for bombing the space center where they work at. Basically, that's it. Explanation for that voice. They wanted the Pikachu Pikachu voice. But the space center is located on Earth. In short, being an octopus climbing a ladder. Instead of being an octopus climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm while carrying the capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say? So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now.
What the engineer? Oxygen.
Whoa! What the? He's flying the coop. Apollo's friend was killed. Yes. His best friend.
Help! I'm caught on the ceiling.
Oh, he's on the ceiling. Binef, what the hell? Prepare the cherry picker! What? Excuse me? We must launch our rescue mission at once. Well, that's one way to take off while being questioned. I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground?
Yes, I apologize for losing control.
Are you ready to tell us the truth?
Not that. Not anything but that.
What's going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know. It appears Space Boy is prone to deception. Gotta tell you, he was a friend of his friend was a fan of JoJo. Witness.
Yes. Yes.
I thought your story was odd, but perhaps inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect.
Prosecutor Blackwell, please. Please don't talk about that.
What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell? Didn't I already state that Space Boy is ironically terrified of going into space? Look at his hairstyle with the cap. That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Oh? I sense things are about to nosedive.
You got it. I told them during the investigation too. I don't know anything about any drugs. Never took any medication, I swear.
It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be?
Somebody must have slipped them to me. But I guess maybe that's just why I don't remember. Because of the side effect. And that's why I don't remember much about what happened.
What? All that in the courtroom? We can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. God. Why did he just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going to space. Oh, what did he say? Maybe I really did do it. Oh, no. Which brings us to the answer of our original question of how the witness climbed down the body with a dead body. It does. So what is it? A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, just external. So the body simply dropped down from the top ladder. Oh my, I see. And then the defendant would just climb down with his free hand. Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping the body down will leave marks on the body itself. So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks? What the hell is that? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It is ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. You can't be implying the ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body. I am, for the fracture easily struck. Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave its mark on the body. Yet according to the autopsy report, only a knife was found on the victim's body. Oh, grilled bird. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning. A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Turner. It includes the latest technology and devices made of fabric of tomorrow. The fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the ground. What the heck happened to his eye? We literally don't know because they literally didn't explain it. But welcome in, Lukman. Then shouldn't it be possible to stab someone through it as well? It should, yet through sheer coincidence, the killer slipped through a weak spot in the suit structure and found a way to its target. What are the chances? You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself, with knowledge of how the suits work. He caught me there. Don't kill Blackwell's bird. Now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in a rocket and dropped his body from the upper flap. Climbing down, he shouldered the body to make it look like the camera recorded him. There's no room for debate about these facts. It's clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Gah! Yeah, the report regarding the astronauts' oxygen tanks. Consider it in my send-off gifts. Feel free to use it as payment across the river Styx. Gah! The victim's tank was ruptured 80% with 0% left. The defendants had 80%. Remember the defendants had 80%? Didn't the picture say 30? Hey, this report is pretty detailed. Oh wow, oh my god. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder is the victim's tank was ruptured and had 0%. The one belonged to Starbuck had 80%. Which is contradictory to our picture. Let's see the display on the astronaut, how much the oxygen remains. See, it says 50. Or was it the other way around? That's not Solomon carrying Clay. That's Clay carrying Solomon. I guess that means that glowing cyan digits represents the amount of oxygen remaining.
That's all. I'm going to push it into space!
Space boy.
Yeah?
Wow! Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful, even when viewed through bars.
You mean the stars is seen from prison?
That's right, your cell will be in your spaceship. Well, the cell will be a spaceship. The picture, the view through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. Don't entice him.
That's not a habit thought.
Objection! All Ace Attorney games in a nutshell. What's up, Joseph? Mr. Starbuck. Prosecutor Blackham got him good.
Spaceship prison cell, fly me, my guilt, my despair to the deepest, darkest place. And then they get sucked into a black hole together.
Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope.
Oh! Yes, Apollo.
You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. He said you never give up on your dreams and passion for space, no matter what the situation.
He said that.
So don't give up now and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Terran! Luna, tell the bird to behave, otherwise you smell fried hot legs. You're making chicken tenders? Ooh, off the bird?
For Clay.
Hump, you're wasting your breath.
Ah! Ah!
start! Heck yeah! Apollo, thank you! Apollo, thank you! He just changes his voice. The Pikachu voice is too hard. I can see things clearer now. Mr. Starbuck! I'm fine now. Thank you for reminding me of my last mission. Right, we'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space. Ah! You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul. I'm on fire! The expression, Larry. I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, the cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down. Balderdash. What the hell? The sun, the moon, outer space is calling me. Solomon sails Starbuck. Ready for launch? Begin to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Reckon. Heck yeah! Wow! I feel like I witnessed an actual rocket launch. The recommended video after all these aesthetic breakdowns. Apollo, you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck! I can't take credit, it was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through. You tweeted Iggly House? I'm not trying to self-promote. Well, don't talk about your tweets then. Give your dog a bath. Oh no! If you simpletons are done massaging one another's egos, no matter how positive your mood, your advantage remains unshakable. I have to but wait for my final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your boldness? Gah! I can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. Aww. I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. I've got to destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think! If the only people at the launch pad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck, and if Clay was already dead by the time the footage was taken, then the only person who could have killed him was Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. Top 10 breakdowns would be a thing. In which case I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself, the tank. Now then, let's see about this data we just received. This is supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body at Launchpad 1. But if I'm gonna prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Enough of this farce. Your boldness. Have your verdict. Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen tank data you just submitted just now? It says Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining while Mr. Taran has 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of this report? Of course. Thoughts. Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty evidence as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Toro. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look at the detailed description of what you'll see what I mean. Only having me have some evidence, Mr. Justice, so I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This is the evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to the picture, because the picture, wait, which one is the picture? Oh, the security footage. Because the security footage, the tank says 50 when The guy had supposed to hit 80. On how does this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here. Note that the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Terran. It appears to say 50. Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. The oxygen tank increased? I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase of oxygen is beyond illogical. You're absolutely right. What's going on here? I too find it odd that the oxygen has increased. It would be odd as my rations were to increase. Wow! Now's not the time to talk about your food, bro. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it's the defendant carrying the victim's corpse. Huh, I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations than you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it. You need a power nap, Blacku. In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of a mystery increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint or I declare your inconsistency a mere equipment malfunction. Okay. Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot prove an adequate counter argument for this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. Your rations? So do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased? Yes, I can. Yes, of course I can. The thing to do at the time is turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried clay. This man with a 50 on the oxygen ought to be Mr. Starbuck, but if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown an 80. It's a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking is not why the oxygen tank level increased, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased. Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here? Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting. Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. They were going the other way around. The victim was carrying the defendant and the tanks were damaged. Obviously, the victim was carrying the defendant. Arkakun! How you doing, Arkakun? We're starting a new case. Basically, this is before the courtroom bombing. So we are playing Apollo, and our best friend is dead, an astronaut, and his mentor astronaut, who is also an acquaintance of ours, is the client being blamed for bombing the space center and also killing our friend. You have a meeting right now, so you'll be back in half an hour. Okay. What if it was the other way around? The other way around? We gotta explain, Mr. Justice. As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on this footage. But it turns out this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. Oh, what? Order! Order! Mr. Justice! You don't mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim Clay Terran? It's the only way the riddle increasing oxygen level could be solved, Your Honor. Arkabarka. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right, it's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape through the lounge. Hemp. How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full? Prosecutor Blackquill, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Excuse me? That's my kind of analogy. It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims, and that opens the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. Aga! There are two people who claim to be the first on scene, but can we truly trust their statements? Let's say the two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them could have been a false statement to the police? It's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. Since we have to hear the testimony from the first two people on the scene. Score! Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show the Detective Arm to the stand? Oh no! What did he sound like? I don't remember how he sounded like when we first played the game. I have an announcement, everyone! No! What's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here! Please remain calm and listen carefully. I don't remember how he sounded like. It's Tonate. Someone has reactivated the bomb! Yeah, you, bro! I hate you, Aeole. The bomb was disfused, but it's about to explode. Alright. What? Oh my god, get me the hell out of here! Ah! A bomb? Now? Oh, everybody run! I don't want to die! Oh no! Everybody's panicking! Oh no. This is the trial that got bombed, yup. Hit the chicken to the death with you. Call the lot of you calm yourself before Allah has... Everybody shut up. Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here. But what about Mr. Starbuck's dream? Who will carry out Clay's final wish? Now is not the time, Apollo. I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow up the truth forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. We don't get out here right now. We're gonna die. Come on, this way. Hey, ouch! Let me go. Apollo! Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet? No! Juniper! Are you alright? Run, people. Apollo, no! Not that way! Oh no. Yikes. To be continued! Oh wow! Save. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. That was crazy, yeah. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Stop! Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. Poor Apollo. No, please, no, Nani. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted-Tonate. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Tonate like that on top of all his other injuries. Ted-Tonate. Apollo is resting at a nearby Hickfield clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. Juicy.
That's...
You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease? Don't worry. He's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it.
That's...
It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so sad. Oh. We won the court case, yet nobody feels like much celebrating. Alright! You know what is, people! Jesus, Althea! Poor Apollo is trying to clear his friend's name and got hurt. Yeah. And got super bugged by the dude. And he is his best friend. He spent his high school years with him. This is no time to be moping around. Tina going further beyond. Now draw those eyes! Both of you! You're the only one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities? We have work to do. We have to take over! To take over what exactly? Apollo Space Center case, of course! There's no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance!
I agree with Athena. We should pick up from Mr. Starbuck's defense. We had to avenge the fallen comrade! Right, Daddy?
Apollo hasn't fallen, but he's still alive, you know. Good! Now that that's settled, let's get going! Come on, we gotta run! What, wait, now? Right now? We better not be running the whole way! I'm an old man! Dash goes! Better catch up. Can you get to the office, Trucy?
Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies and fill my magic panties for you.
Whoa! Trucy! Stop! Stop it right now! I swear to God, those panties. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. You can always count on Athena to perk up everybody with her enthusiasm. Trucy! Trucy, you need to... Phrasing, man! Trucy, phrasing! Oh my...
Oh, she's back!
Don't mind me, just forgot a few things. Wallet, my phone, my document, my bag. Oh god, my own panties. Oh wait, sounds more like you forgot everything. I can always count Athena for that too.
Alright, you two, let's be careful out there. Bye bye!
For a second I was like, who are we even here for? Oh my god, you're right, his head is a rocket like the thing. My god. So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous, even I've heard of him. That's right, he's a super famous astronaut who works at Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. Wow, 7 years ago, me, Phoenix Wright, just got fired from being a lawyer while this man was making a career up in space. I love 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a bit about him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. I mean, I think you're excited to meet any man, Phoenix. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever in my life.
Apollo,
He's back to the Pikachu voice because he's sad.
Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right?
Yeah, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck, Mr. Wright, and I've got you covered.
And you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere?
Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so.
Thought, I guess so. My mistake. Maybe every isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to defend the stratosphere without a spectrograph.
Yikes, he's seriously got to stop depressing himself. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, the thing you said about entering the stratosphere, I mean, that's just we shine like shooting stars, right?
Like shooting stars, huh? You know?
Well, I don't think not that. After all, that's what we put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in the flesh. Oh yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1, to the stratosphere and beyond. Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? Yeah, let's talk about him. So you have no memory at all of the incident?
I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as the dark nebula.
Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills and like they said at the trial?
You got it wrong. I don't know anything about any drugs. It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety could bear. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know.
It's the so-called Hat One miracle. Must have been a terrifying experience.
I'm still an astronaut and heart come with me. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before lunch. That lunch meant everything to me. There's certainly more theory than relativity. More certain than a theory of relativity.
He seems like a completely different person now. Oh. He's the face of an astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system.
Ew. Yeah, I see. That's the thing. I don't know why. I'm done for.
If you didn't take them, then maybe someone slipped them to you.
Exactly. This is what I thought. This must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could get their hands on it.
That's not safe. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed.
I'll say they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small, like about the murder weapon, for example?
That knife. I think it came from the Space Center's utility kits.
Utility kits?
Yes, staff who work on the machinery a lot are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose type it is.
Okay. So it's from a set. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago.
That's right! It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we all had a problem with the theft.
You did? What kind of problems?
Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio,
Cracked windows? How do you survive?
the control column.
The heat shield came off as we were entering. That's a very unsafe rocket. Who approved of that launch?
I thought I was a goner. I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice bags in the freezer.
No wonder they dumped it. The head one miracle. It's a miracle you made it back.
Space is a boundless place, that's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space so significant beyond the scheme of things. The tactics that goes on and on forever. And ever. Without it.
There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone. With nothing to do but listen to the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make the repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission?
What? No way, of course not. Even now I want to go up in space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity and escape velocity and spin around wheelers.
But you had to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you a tiny bit afraid?
Toots! I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is a man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us this summer.
The cosmic truth, huh? Guess there's people who are looking for the truth in every walk of life.
No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. Or give it to my fear. I'll never find a fail.
The truth.
As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight.
There's one thing for sure. Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim claimed Terrain? Oh. Terrain! But he was kind of like your protege, right? Wasn't he?
Well, it wasn't a big generation deal. Like master and apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor.
The mentor and protege, what a combination they must have been.
With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now...
Clay must have been encouraging. Huh.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever I see him, hear him shout, "You're fine," I always get the feeling that everything was really gonna be fine.
You're fine? Paul says I'm fine and you're fine all the time. I always feel encouraged too when I hear him shout it.
Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come out to the space center quite a lot, ever since they were high school kids. One day out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. The two hung out at the space center so much they were like a part of the staff. One time during the zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine," over the radio.
Aww. Can you imagine? That's so cute.
It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear.
So I'm fine and you're fine with like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? They're so cute. Too bad one of them is dead now. I wish I could ask Apollo and Clay more about Clay and their relationship now. Oh, their relationship. Speaking of Clay, how are they supposed to climb down the ladder with you over his shoulder?
Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine.
They actually did climb down the ladder, so a way has to exist.
From the city, from the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. They particularly stay the dark night sky visitors have bed through bow windows.
Dots. You're right. You're fine, Solomon. Solomon's soul, Starbuck. It's fine. Everything's gonna be alright.
Huh?
And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you do. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can hear you. Phoenix Wright is fine. We'll get back in space yet, Mr. Starbuck. I believe in your own innocence and have faith in us. Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I will leave you too.
Thank you, both of you.
I put my faith in you. And now I'm about to make a bite in those bites. All I need is a not guilty verdict. Sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then. They're all fine. Okay, Mr. Wright. Petrash. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto. Good idea, let's go. Okay. Ooh, entrance. Wow. You can be a tree in space? Wait. Wow, look at this high-tech space center. The thing is moving. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place this space center would be. It's almost like an amusement park of the future. Yeah. Did you know they even let the public see their own rockets up close? Trucy, chase after your sibling. Don't let him go. Aww. Trucy's at home. Ooh, so check it out. Look how brightly the Gaiaxa logo shines. You have NASA's Gaiaxa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really think the stars and the rocket motif it's got going. Gaiaxa, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? What's R&D? My favorite music genre. Yeah, but why the strange acronym? What is GA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would just be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency, which we would have to, as me, have abbreviated to GAXA or Gaia. Gaia. What's it to cut out at the bottom? Said the attraction dude. Take a picture. I guess so. Ooh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is beginning to feel like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction don't make me laugh. The monument to the human race. Why a tree? That's what I was thinking. Galactic scooter full speed ahead. Nice! Hey, yeah! He's on a Segway. Hey, man, how you doing? Yikes! Who's this geezer and what's he want? Jesus. Athena! Alien is bent. Ready for that clap and baguette. Ooh, what should he sound like? Look upon me, look away. Look upon me, I look well. Behold the great power of space science. Pardon me, but who the hell are you? My glorious name is Yuri Cosmo. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center, the center of the cosmos. Sorry, there's his voice now. That's how I'm imagining his voice. Boss, it's pretty grown inducing. If this person is Space Center director, then that means... Oh, you're the one who first discovered Clay's body, weren't you? You're saying that you put your face in the pigeon? Oh. Wait, why is Alien bent though? What's up, man? How you doing? Who was the first to find the victim? Actually, two of them. Space Center director Yuri Cosmos and Detective Kenny's That is correct. I was honored to be the first man in outer space and time to discover the body. But to talk about the innocent, are you by any chance the space police? You can't like the word space onto or any old thing, you know. We're Mr. Starbucks lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. Ew, when we're Earth lawyers, by the way. I see. I heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I'll grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now go ahead. Have at it. I can already tell he's gonna be nothing but trouble. Don't let him near you. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? Do you guys like his voice? So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? At the event, peace across the galaxy, I permit a space developer in this contract. Name it what particular star away. We get ready for the sake of mankind. You can't even picture it. Oh, mother stash. I believe that I used the word specifically in my question. Attention air personnel, to your break station. Prepare for break. Oh, why can't you just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner? That is exactly right. Because I am an important man and my manner is important. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Wow. Well, it's bound to be some people like that here in the boundlessness of space. What that you want to know? What is it that makes me important specifically? The stash drive you to the cosmos. Very well, I tell you, I was the central figure of that at one project. You may proceed to be primarily impressed. Okay, I've heard it. I'm might be more impressed with what if I knew he did specifically. Could you tell us about what you know about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director of the standards of the government. My testimony, which we go down in state interest, will be in the courtroom. He looks like he's a whore. He looks like the Drake. Starts taking notes for the future curse joke. So what does it mean you'll be taking a stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness on the music stand mankind. Not sure what he understands about being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos that talks about what he wants to talk about. Then at least let's try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open about. The head one was a rocket launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite the numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? Oh, I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. We'll see if we can find a good ending point during the investigation. And we can do the rest next week. Very well. I invite you to complete the story of the Art 1 project. Because we did a trial. Usually we do the investigation and then one trial day. But now we already did one trial and I don't know how long the investigation will be. It's Jaden's dead. Oh my god! Thank you very much. Art 1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid. And Mr. Taba was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Art 1 reached its planet's orbit. Wow. From where along the Earth probe toward the asteroid belt. Oh my. From there, the Earth probe began a long and slowly journey into the reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Art 1 returned to space. A little bit. The struggle was when the incident known as the Head 1 miracle occurred, right? Dragon is so serious. Correct. It was truly a miracle. Of course, they had to turn the audio into a movie. As for the Earth probe, it eventually arrived safely at its direct destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid, but returned to the Earth a few days ago. What kind of samples were they? What's in it for them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We aren't a time since we just came back to the day before Taran murder. Regardless, we are not time to inspect the sample to do everything that had occurred. But this puts our space development in program ahead of other countries by several years. It's already acting suspicious it could be him. Yeah, he was the first to discover the body. Other than Candy's arm, and Candy's arm is literally dead. That's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth bragger after all. In the cutting edge of space development, our predecessors was successful in bringing a mirror back. That is the greatest achievement in history of all the space science. He's the first to discover the body. He could be the one who murdered Clay. Yeah, he could be. The public fell into space with all of its glorious potential. A moon rock, huh? I remember that being big. Our underworld with the moon rock live on. I did not read what he said, but it's okay. You want to be starting new open dream with the future of the mankind once again. That is my mission. Of the mountain star, the soil of a world base. I heard there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could be potentially impact all of civilization. It's like we're a new space race with every other country out there. What about your tongue? It's not about animal and money or politics. It's time for the brilliant future that awaits mankind. As for my illustrious mission, with the recent budget cuts, my thought tell me that finances are tight, but I will hear. I guess even space program has to watch his budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Oh, about this thing. You seem kind of knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Oh, well, I thought I'd put a brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I'll be on my way. As you can see, I'm a very busy man. I'm a very important man. I got like to ski, fire out the main engine, a max battle speed, and a gauge. That thing is surprisingly fast. Guess we better get going too. You bet! Let's make it so! Yeah! Let's move around to boarding lounge. Oh, this is the crime scene. Whoa, look at that. Would you sit in that? There's a chair over there. Hey, what's up, Venom? Let me guess, his objective is to catch Deoxys? Probably. Will you guys sit in that? There's a chair in there. You can sit in there. I would not sit in that. That's so dangerous. They are like strap-ins. Would you guys try that? So this is where Mr. Turan was murdered. Guess what? Did you get a shiny? You thought Leon was annoying for blaring the fact of being undefeatable? Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see the diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the main building on the right side, on the 3rd floor. You beat your first challenger with the Dark Time Gym? Nice! Stretching. He used all legendary Pokemon. Your dragon would try it or sit in awe.
Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled from here on the launch pad after the explosion.
You there, no minutes without it. Express motion.
We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We come to investigate.
Sorry, nobody gets in without permission, not even police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad on me. Very mad on me. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh?
Yeah, he's in the launch pad corridor 1. Go get clearance from him, then we'll talk. Leave it to me. I'm getting tired. Getting out the all intel from Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today?
I don't know what if I should be grateful or afraid.
So to get to the launchpad corridor, we just have to go through the door, the blue rocket.
Wait, the door. Looks awfully familiar. The thing is vertical. The picture we have is horizontal.
Good idea, boss.
Oh wait, that's the opening. Never mind. The after that's
This is the door. Mr. and Clay and Solomon and Mr. Starbuck during their escape launchpad.
that explains it. The fingerprint system could be deactivated, so I think we can just pass through.
Now come on, let's go.
Or should we move? Should we investigate this place first? Oh, we can't investigate it. Never mind. So this is it, huh? Oh my god, there's a robot cleaning the floor! This is the corridor the two of them used to make their escape.
Yep, this is the only thing connecting launchpad 1 with the main building.
I see the police tape down the other end. I guess we won't be looking at the launch pad. Oh, my hand.
After exploding, the whole corridor must have been filled with smoke.
And the bottom, the launch pad bottom itself was probably sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them.
Now where would Detective Fulbright be? I think it's him over there.
Okay, I need a short break from all the voices, guys. So I'm a BRB real quick, and take a few minutes, cause Bobby Fulbright takes a lot of air. So I'm a burps for a little bit. Boop. Okay. Let's get back into it. What should I do? Where's the background music? Which path is the path of justice? He seems to be lost. It's funny. Scored us a straight shot. Huh? Oh, it's you lawyer people. There we go. Background music. Heck yeah. Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here's a little rocket for sightseeing. I hope you guys are not bored. We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any info to share? Boss, if he acts all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with whatever shall we do act. He'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch up with the unruly family dog here or what? Info on the case, huh? Alright. I'll gladly share some with you. What since when? Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking the truth and justice by their side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me. You info bandits, I'm in a generous mood today. I just don't know, something's weird about Detective Fulbright today. Why is everybody weird now? We'll need information, so let's run with it. If you say so. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in, or whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content and take a week if you need it, a month even. Wow. And shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub. Whoa. No, that's okay. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Yeah, what the hell's happening? Detective Fulbright's acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Jesus! Attila! Do you think he's hit us here or something? Who knows? Whatever the case, is making our lives way easier. Maybe he's doing it on purpose. You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incident, weren't you, Detective? Hey, Eric, you've been on vacation. That's alright, no worries. I'll go focus on your vacation for sure. That's right, I was here on a security assignment. The police are required to secure rocket launchers now, I didn't know that. Yes. Well, you know us to serve and protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, and so I started leading the evacuation. He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened? Of course, a bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Bam! Right after that, the one on the launch pad one also blew sky high. The BAM! So I immediately instructed the visitors and employees to evacuate the shelter. The shelter? That's right. There's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. Detective finally bright. This there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite a madhouse, you tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion, and the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. But then wasn't it impossible to get down from the basement to get to the basement shelter then?
No, we lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone got out safely, I made my way down to and headed to the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal! Climbing down an emergency ladder sounds kind of fun. Thank you for your answers, detective. They were that's me. Thank you for the answers, detective. They're very helpful. Just a moment, I have some more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell. Okay? Wow, and the Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on short leash too. Well, never mind that, haha. I thought you should know that there was a witness. Could you tell us more about this witness? Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, it's a she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge. So she was looking into the crime scene from the outside? Oh, witness. That's right. It's a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though. You don't? But it's the most important thing of all. Don't you worry. I'll get around interviewing her soon enough. She should be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her. A 4th floor employee? That's right. Thanks for the info, Fulbright. Thank you. 4th floor. Gee, you should be cooperative, detective. A little too cooperative, even. Yes, well, actually, Something you can't talk about? Yes, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. Okay. Strange. What's that all about? Something's definitely going on. I'm gonna get it out of him next time I see him. Okay. Not sure how he'll talk about it though. We have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. Okay. Why is there a dragon outside? Oh, is this TV screen? Oh, you two, Detective Fulbright just granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks or a neck rub if you like. Oh! Oh, that's alright. But thank you for the offer. Well, time to roll out our sleeves and start investigating. Heck yeah. Now we'll see. Where's that diagram again? So this lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. And according to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend. Petrify the eyes. Let's stop the recap and start looking around. You read my mind, Athena? We'll make it our first priority. There's just one problem though. This room. It's so big. Don't worry. We can use this to help us. A Space Center pamphlet for tourists? Yup, picked it up at the entrance. The map should be coming handy. I see, yup, let's see. Here it is, a map of the lounge. Oh wow. This is the door that went through top to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, that's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Guess the map will make things a little easier then. Okay. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down this third person. Wait, there's one more thing. Was that strange creature moving outside the window? Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image. Oh yeah, I knew that. It's a relief. There should be a button so to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is because you can push the button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? Just gonna look around while looking for clues. Fine, let's get investigating. Alright. I'm gonna BRB again a little bit just to chill out a little bit before we investigate. Yeah, sorry about the taking a bunch of breaks because I'm tired. Oh my god. I can do this. It's just one investigation day, come on. How are y'all doing? I don't know who's still here, but how are you guys doing? Let's investigate this place and find the killer. Examine. Send me the chair. Oh wait, no matter how much I look at it, something. I guess it's a training. Wait, what did he say? No matter how much I look at it, it's a torture device. Never mind. I guess it's a training device for getting used to zero gravity. Oh, Athena says, odd glint in her eye. She's thinking about Wright, trying the thing out. I should try to stop her, but I'm afraid she'll just start a muscle at me. Mr. Wright! Look up there! What's that? Some kind of fragment is stuck in tight. So that's what the glint was about. Oh, the color looks familiar. Think it's part of the oxygen tank. What? Think you're right, but if that's here, it means Clay's tank was ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. How did they miss this? It's in the middle of the freaking room. Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Stubber dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. What are you guys doing? What's everyone up to in the chat? Thank you for those who like the stream. I think we're about 15 likes. Last I checked. I don't know. So I'm in dog game trying hunting. That's alright. Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Hey, way to go, Apollo. You just gonna play Pokemon Sword? At first glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape, but then there's that creature. Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what the surfer looked like. You're making another team right now in Sword? Oh. I don't know, I think it would have made the news if they discovered a creature like that. It made quite a bit of news though, when probe came back. Yeah, the Hope probe doesn't even go to a planet. It went to an asteroid. It's a big rock of some kind. Even the aliens can't live there. There's some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no extraordinary chairs. Or no ordinary chairs. Your dream team will be your battle box team. They're almost like amusement park teacup rides. You can power them with self-assist. If you spin the table, your chair spins too. Why would anybody want to have something like that here? It's for introducers who have trouble with the device on the ceiling. The worker spins. It says that training device can easily be done. Okay, it's easy on the eyes and soul. Can a person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle 0G? Give me a second, guys. Just closing my eyes a little bit. Trying to get the energy in my eyeballs. It might end soon because I can barely concentrate on the words. I can barely see them. A window! It's right next to the holographic image. Say you don't have shiny Zadi. You got... Yeah, everyone else has a Dragon except me. Basically. I bet it's here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off it says emergency ventilation. You know, to clear smoke from a fire. Encounters is 11%. Wait, what? What do you mean? For Dragon? See, it's pointing out virtual insanity, it's reality. Okay, maybe we'll investigate this room and we might end there. Unless I suddenly become more awake. You just go on your food now because it's alright. Everyone gets shinies at different paces, you know. I'm just unlucky. So it looks like there's 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Let's check drum roll, please. The door, the Space Center pamphlet. We're here at the place that says boarding lounge 1. I know what I heard after 1,000 eggs or encounters. Wait, what? Aren't you the one that got the shiny? Are you saying eggs or encounters? You're the one that got the shiny, so you should know how you hunted it. Hey, Dragon-kun! Yeah. Oh, wow. That you should have seen the Zaris just now. Okay, let me... Ugh, I need to wake up. I might go wash my face soon. Yeah, I'm gonna go wash my face real quick before we because we're looking at very important information right here. Let me just go wash my face real quick. Okay, I just rubbed the sleep out of my eyes, so I'm a bit more awake. Washing my face was a good idea. How's the case? It's good. We did not start off with a trial. We started off with a trial instead of a regular story, and we were playing Apollo. We were playing Apollo in a trial first. Apollo's best friend is dead. And he's an astronaut, and the client is the client is, wait, what am I saying? The hell am I saying? How do I explain this? Apollo's best friend is an astronaut named Clay, and he's dead. The client is Clay's mentor slash our acquaintance named Starbucks. And we were doing the trial just now, and that was the case where the courtroom got bombed. The courtroom was bombed, and Apollo's, now it's after the bombing. Apollo's half dead in the hospital, and we are continuing the case as Phoenix and Athena. The space center also got bombed. You missed the power stash. You should saw Drayden's dead. You didn't get it, you're not hunting Zeri. After 1,000 account is 11%? What? Encounters and eggs have different, so that there's no such thing as 11%. You're back as well. Welcome back 457. For any payment, there's no 11% for anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Maple wants out, you interact with her, you're considering letting her go. Oh, damn, Maple. I mean, if you really don't want her, if you really want to let her go, you know, sometimes you just gotta let them go. Here are the 3 doors. Okay, let's see. Wait, what did they say just now? Let's do the pamphlet. We're here at the place that says boarding lounge 1. Man, she makes it even more confusing, Athena. Here are the 3 doors. Let's call them Lefty, Righty, and Downy. People usually says west, east, south with a case like this, you know. Details. Yeah, you make it more confusing, Athena. Anyway, let's take a look at the west door. That door with the rocket leads to the launch pad 1. You didn't know
that. Someone just said it. I'm glad. Yeah, eggs is just 496 if you don't do Masura. If you do Masura, it's 683. If you have the charm and Masura, it's 512. That's the odds for eggs, and then like encounters is just encounters. There's no 11%.
I know because it says here on the map, Launchpad 1 corridor.
So that's where the detective, we were with the detective. It was filled with smoke after the explosion.
Right, next up, the right hand side of the map, or east in your world.
Jesus Christ.
That is the door with the satellite dish icon to signify communication, aka the control room.
But how you doing, Dragon Good and 457? Everybody that came in, welcome in. Thank you for chilling around. Thank you for sticking around. I almost thought that the case was getting a bit boring for everybody. It definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side.
They communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. So it's the center of the space center. The space center, if you will.
Jesus Christ, Athena! Does everybody start to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here for a while?
But it seems they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used for the HAT 2 mission. So this control room was empty at the time.
I always wanted to see inside of a mission control room. And since we're here...
I'd love to do that too, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to. They want to keep curious kids like you out. So the door is protected with fingerprint recognition. Only the director can go in.
With that much security, I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena.
So apparently the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies.
Wait, okay. The door lock to the east can only be operated by the backup. By the director, the backup power lets it function when the power goes out. Okay, cool. Okay, what about the last door?
This is the lower door. Excuse me, the south door.
Salty?
It leads to the elevators.
This is the door we came through when we entered the room, right?
Yup, and of course there's no fingerprints. Recognition is open to anyone.
Okay. But the elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion.
Well, that's about it for the 3 musket doors of the boarding lounge.
Thanks, understanding the layout of the lounge helps us understand the case. That's why I thought we better have a good grasp at where all the doors go. Okay. So this is where they discovered Clay.
Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo.
3 musket doors. So he was stretched out like this and... Huh? What's that thing that looks like a thermos?
That's the thing Prosecutor Blackwell mentioned when I was in court with Apollo. He said that it contains asteroid samples.
Alright, the director Cosmos mentioned something about that too, right? He said they brought back only 5 days ago with that probe that had one launched. I wonder
What they look like. Do you think they'll see us? They'll let us see?
chilling eating your food, oh hey.
Let's think about what we saw.
Oh, let's think about after we solve the case, okay? I think that's it for this page. 758. Oh, nice. These are apparently oxygen capsules. They're for recovery after a training session.
I wonder if they can change your voice. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Huh? Didn't do a thing! It's not helium, Athena, it's oxygen! Stupid moron. There's something under the desk. There's some kind of panel with 2 buttons here. Just push it. Just push it. Push it to the... It's an invariable principle of buttons. There's such thing as buttons left unpushed. Oh. Dum dum. Hey! The giant holographic image has appeared! Yeah, though the side of the wall seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can find anything new with the image off. Okay. Athena instantly lost IQ. Ooh, a mirror. How thoughtful then to put one here. Thoughtful? So the ladies can fix their makeup! One's appearance is just as important as space is on Earth, you know? You never know when you're gonna run into some other life form after all. I doubt anybody who thinks like that would become an astronaut in the first place. Okay, let's see. What's this? Here's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Oh boy! I wanna try it. Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do mid-air somersault. We're still on Earth, remember? Besides, it's connected to the ceiling. Just remember to tell that to Tommy. Well, at least I could jump really high. There's a sign on the wall that says clearly don't jump too high. Then what good is this thing? Didn't I say from the beginning walk on the surface of the moon? Oh my god, what is this? Oh, there's something sparkling. Hey, I see something shiny down there! Take this cover off then. Wow, what's that? A bullet? Looks like a metal jelly bean. It's really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 to 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see, what that will make caliber 10? Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yes, but never heard of a .10 caliber gun before. This bullet must be for some special kind of gun. Bet if you tried firing this mob with a regular sized gun, it would just fall right out. Huh? Yeah, it must have been a really small gun. Wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left of the south door from the room. Okay. It's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. Leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us the code when we need it. Is there anything we can investigate? Investigate the bullet itself? No? You lost IQ, there's no news? What's this, a trap door? It's a trash chute. The cleaning robots throw the garbage out from here. The robots do the cleaning? What a futuristic world we live in. I just hope they don't revolt like they do in the science fiction movies. No way, all the robots here are very nice. Actually, wasn't there one of the launch patch 1 corridor? We can still say hi to that one if you want. There's a bullet hole on the screen, by the way. Oh my god. Wonder what this big knob is for. It looks like the knob from the stove. It's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarities end. Behind the glass pane, what kind of stove would require a security knob like this? Throw them out. You haven't been thrown out yet? Well, the knob is straight up and down. If it was a gas stove, the burner would be off. Right, it was her stove. I wonder what it really is for. Something like that. Something turned on by a knob. That's not a stove. What about a rocket engine? Oh, something went in my eye. Then I guess we can say sorry now that it's a mystery knob. Let's see. The stories. Where's that pamphlet? I think that we know where the door is. Oh my god. Here we are. This is the door next to the lead launchpad 1. We went through it earlier when we talked to Detective Fulbright. I guess security must be disengaged now. They say corridor was filled with smoke the time of the bombing. The thing behind this door must be fingerprints of recognition device. Which reminds me, Prince Bowser good well talked about it on the trial. The notion of a third party in the lunchroom is very absurd. Just as you enter the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. Allow me to state up front that they are few with the clearance to do so. Okay, I might end once we're done investigating this room. What do you guys think? Then what does this mean? Then the bottomless prints were verified on the system. The number of authorized personnel was supposedly really small. Voila! Fingerprint powder. A powder just in case something like this comes up. I found it at the office. Just been itching for the chance to use it. Wait to think ahead. There's dust of. Oh, we get the dust of fingerprints! Nothing to sprinkle here. Oh. Do we get to do it ourselves? Oh, lame. I thought we got to do it. Let's see what we have here. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do the thing. The do you? Yeah, maybe we'll end after we're done investigating this room. We got something. It's only a set of fingerprints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure, we could figure out whose prints these are. Although I doubt we'll be lucky to get the culprit on the first try. I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right, and there's some security footage to this door too. Here it is. Here it is. It came out in court the other day. Wish we could see the part of the footage just a bit after. Because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? If he's in the mood he's in, we'll probably show us the right away. Yeah, he's almost too good of a mood today. Let's go see if we can find him again once we're done with this room. Yeah, we'll just investigate this room and for the day. We're getting a lot of important information that I'm not totally taking in. This is the fingerprint recognition device. I guess you put your hand on this mark. Why guess when you can try? Not to line my hand up with the outline. Don't, Athena, the thing is related to the case. Get your prints all over it and the next thing you know, you'll be named the suspect. How can you be so cruel to a little girl like me? Not buying those tears, Missy. Okay. This must be the security camera that recorded the astronauts making their escape. Let's commemorate this occasion with a love and peace. If you're done now, we'll move on. Yeah, okay. But just one more for the road, peace. Very mature. Wow. Athena is dumb. Hey, Mr. Wright, look at this! Just a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It's pretty big. Whoever fired the shot must have been using a pretty large gun. You think so? Based on my experience, I say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, if someone fired a gun in here, right? Apparently, it's an important fact. Did you see a bullet anywhere? No, the police might have taken it though. We have a bullet! Let's talk to Detective Fulbright about this bullet hole later. What the hell is that? Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, a pistol.
Welcome to the Space Center. Gate. Welcome.
Yikes! What in the world? What should this one sound? Oh no. Why does...
My name is Boto. P-O-N-C-O. Boto. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you.
It's a robot?
I am not a robot. I am Bojo. Psychological observation and navigation. Go. Companion.
Looks like you have catch up on access.
P-O-N-C-O. Bojo.
Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Ooh, Poncho, I missed you! You know this thing, Athena? Oh, she showed us around last time when I came here with Apollo. Ooh, you're such a good girl, Poncho. That's a good girl.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am so happy. So very happy.
A guide robot, that's pretty cool. My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you.
I don't know you. I don't know you.
Just a nosebleed. Ouch. Good girl. Ooh, she has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him.
Certainly. Commencing. Guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine too.
His name is Phoenix. It's a bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it.
Phoenix, please tell me a good look at your face.
Oh, sure.
Registering. Facial recognition sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix.
This robot is pretty cute. Okay. Look, it even has like circle things. Look at the face, the small face. You made a friend, boss. Isn't it great?
Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way.
Ooh, goody. Let's go, boss. Go where? Sorry, bye. Alright, well, we're done with that room. Should we save the rest of the case next week? I know it's still pretty early, but my sleep schedule is not right. I've not been doing a good sleep schedule, which is why all the streams have been ending earlier when we usually do. I need to get my sleep schedule correct for the stream. Because right now my sleep schedule is not right for the streams to last that long. It's not right. Go to sleep also. Yeah, usually I go longer than this, but my sleep schedule has not been right for the streams the last week of life. Usually I sleep in the afternoon, but for the last like 2 weeks I have not been sleeping that much. They were here. So we might end. Get to the shell bedroom. Yeah. But yeah, I'll try and fix my sleeping schedule to fit streaming this week though. I need to get my butt to sleep in the afternoon. And then we can go on longer. But yeah, we'll just end for now. I don't think we'll do a raid, cause yeah. But yeah, we will continue this case next week. I shall see y'all tomorrow for Dradigon. Hopefully we get it in the first place. Get some good resto like counter shoot. But yeah, I'm sorry that we're not ending. We're ending kind of early. But we've been streaming for like what? How many hours? Like 11, 12. Yeah, it's now like we passed 4 hours, right? 3 hours, 4 hours. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll continue the investigation next week. But for now, I'll see y'all. I'm sleep. Bye bye. Peace.